camouflaged in this book is denoting the stories, the tales, which we know about in some ways. First World War ki kahani, Second World War ki kahani. And there are stories that have not been published at all.
Major Prabal Das Gupta, a veteran army major, surprising and heartrending. These are tales of undaunted courage, of loyalty, and sacrifices made in the cauldron of war. A vivid and compelling book
written by Major Prabal Das Gupta.
Camouflaged reminds us that in the end, hope triumphs over despair.
We speak about and we write about, our consciousness is around Kashmir, but very little is known of Ladakh. All of us have read about how कबाइलियाँ आ गए, कश्मीर में आ गए. आम तौर पे वो कहीं नहीं जाते. It's not known, and again it's a story that is, I would say it's translucent, and that's the story of Shivang Rinchen.
दो भाई Wright brothers, they invent airplane, and after some years of it, when World War I starts, tanks and aircrafts, air bombers.
In the First World War, these fighter pilots were known as a 20-minute club.
Yeah.
वो इसलिए क्योंकि, and when we talk about why the soldier does what he does, why the officer does what he does. For instance, if you look at Kargil, Kargil is one war, and we have had wars in recent times. We are looking at Gaza, we're looking at Ukraine war.
Yeah.
But, the example that Kargil sets is quite unique. Indian Army officers are the highest percentage of officers who have died in a war. And the reason for that is because they lead from the front.
Shrotagan, welcome to your podcast with Raj.
हेलो हाय नमस्कार आदाब, वेलकम टू योर पॉडकास्ट विद राज. आज हम इस पॉडकास्ट की शुरुआत एक अलग अंदाज में करते हैं. आई वुड लाइक टू रीड अ पैसेज फ्रॉम दिस अमेजिंग बुक कैमोफ्लेज्ड रिटन बाय मेजर प्रबल दास गुप्ता. हम आपकी उनसे भी मुलाकात जल्द करवाएंगे, बट लिसन टू दिस. इंडियन सोल्जर्स फॉरेन वॉर्स. इन वर्ल्ड वॉर I and World War II, Indian soldiers embarked on journeys across continents, enduring long separations from their families while fighting in wars that were not their own. Many of them faced years of imprisonment or died without recognition, and their tales of bravery and survival remain unknown. These chapters, this book, showcases the hidden heroes, from pioneers and adventurers to prisoners of wars. Their stories tell us about a time when war was far away from home in unknown lands. And today, my guest, and ये मेरे सौभाग्य की बात है. I'm really grateful that I have him here in front of me today. An army man himself, an army officer. And when I saw him first time today downstairs, he was wearing, and he's still wearing, a very amazing pink shirt, जो कि मुझे बहुत पसंद आई. He looks fit, he looks fine, and he is amazingly talented. And an author of this beautiful book, Camouflaged, Forgotten Stories from Battlefields, Heroic Tales from World War I to 2611, 100 साल के अंतराल में, जो आप मेरे पीछे इस वक्त देख रहे हैं, Watershed. That is also another of his work, which speaks about this mysterious and unknown battle that India had with China. Presenting to you from Gurkha Rifles, Ayo Gurkhali, Jai Ma Kali, Ayo Gurkhali, the Major himself, Major Prabal Das Gupta. How do you feel, sir?
Thank you, Raj. I feel very good. Thanks for having me over here. And, you said all the good things. It's it just, as you were talking about me, and I think, I was wondering, yes, I'm discovering more about myself when you're talking about me. So,
I hope you like the introduction, sir.
Absolutely. And I all I can say is that, you have been magnanimous, and I'm thankful for having me here, and we look forward to a wonderful conversation.
And not saying for the sake of saying it, sir. The tonality of your words, the energy that you bring in, it's just so positive. And I'm sure that every one of us in this room today is going to learn so much from this podcast at the end of it. And first of all, let's thank to Mr. Vaibhav Purandare sir, जो कि मेरे पुराने guest रह चुके हैं. Through him, I got to know you. And when I first connected with you, I got to know that, you served in the army with Gurkha Rifles. So would you want to tell our audiences a little bit about you and your army career as a major yourself?
Right. So I got commissioned into Gurkha Rifles, into 11 Gurkha Rifles in 1994. Now that period that I served in the army before I went on to other fields, stayed overseas and joined the corporate, and now have my own firm. So that, provided the bedrock, the start, the energy, the momentum. I think that is the start of your career where you learn a lot. They say that, you learn the most in the first few years of your work life. I cannot be more thankful to the Indian Army, as well as my regiment and my battalion, which is 511 Gurkha Rifles, where I served the initial part of the first decade of my work career.
Yeah.
And incidentally, I must also tell you that the regiment 11 Gurkha Rifles has produced 2 Indian Army chiefs and the 2 CDSs that are there, General Bipin Rawat and now General Anil Chauhan. So it's one of the smallest regiments. We have 6 battalions in the regiment, and yet it has been so illustrious that it has produced chiefs and CDSs in the Indian Army. So I've been fortunate and lucky, and and also have had the best years to start with.
With the best men around, a glorious regiment, life of legacy, legends, a lot of Paramveer Chakras. And as they say, if a man is saying that he's not afraid to die, he's either lying or he is a Gorkha. So, yeah.
Yes, I think when you start with a battalion, a regiment like that, I think there is a lot that you look ahead to. And I'm not talking only about the Gurkha Rifles. I think each regiment, each battalion in the Indian Army is illustrious, has had a legacy, a history. And when we talk about why the soldier does what he does, why the officer does what he does, for instance, if you look at Kargil, Kargil is one war, and we have had wars in recent times. We are looking at Gaza, we're looking at Ukraine war.
Yeah.
But the example that Kargil sets is quite unique. Indian Army officers are the highest percentage of officers who have died in a war. And the reason for that is because they lead from the front. And the reason for them leading from the front is a legacy, a culture that we have established in the Indian Army over many years. And I one of the things when I was writing this book that you spoke about briefly was also to understand, and in my own way, journey of the book of journey of the writer or the author of the book is a journey of discovery and learning.
Yeah.
And in the course of doing that, one of the objectives was to establish the different dimensions that envelop conflicts and stories of the army. And that was one of the things I wanted to cover through the various stories in the book.
Yeah.
I was talking about Gurkha Rifles, and all of the other regiments that are there in the Indian Army have this legacy, rich and very inspiring legacy, which has really powered them and stood them in great stead over the many years.
Yeah, left a long-lasting impact. A war won by young majors, young generals, 20 to 25-year-olds every damn time. And sir, इस किताब की शुरुआत कहाँ से हुई? Camouflage. सबसे पहले मैं ये पूछना चाहूँगा, नाम Camouflage, ये नाम क्यों? And as you said, it was a path of discovery. It was a path of rather rediscovering your own self, not just as an army man, but also an author yourself, but also as a student of war, and also as part of the great and the valor of Indian military. So, Camouflaged, ये नाम क्यों? और इन कहानियों से हम क्या आगे जानने वाले हैं और किस तरफ हमारा ये जो बड़ा सफर है बढ़ने वाला है?
जी, so camouflage जो word है, camouflage means ढका हुआ. And it's also a Fauji term where there is a deliberate way of hiding yourself from the adversary. That is one place where the term is used commonly. But in every other sense, camouflaged in this book, through this book, is denoting the stories, the tales, the incidents, which we know about in some ways. There are certain stories that have been told in some form.
Correct.
First World War ki kahani, Second World War ki kahani. And there are stories that have not been published at all. So there are 2-3 different kinds of stories. Ones that we have known of and have forgotten. Ones that we somewhat know of, but not fully so. And the third kind are the stories that have not been published at all. And we can talk about all of them. Yes. And there is a reason why I have chosen this period of 100 years.
Yeah.
And the reason why I have chosen this period of 100 years is also because if you look at these stories, they run parallel to the arc of the history of this country. And when you also look at how the current world order has been established, to look at 100 years, जो पहला विश्व युद्ध और दूसरा विश्व युद्ध हुआ, और उसके बाद में जिस तरीके से वर्ल्ड ऑर्डर की स्थापना हुई,
करेक्ट,
उसमें हमारे सैनिक का योगदान एकदम अहम रहा है. एंड दैट इज समथिंग दैट दैट इज दैट यू रेड अबाउट हाउ द बुक स्टार्ट्स विद पार्ट 1 and part 1
Absolutely.
talks about
Let's
that.
come on to that.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a brief, 100 साल की कहानी है, 10 अलग अलग चैप्टर्स में बटी हुई है, स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम 1911 यू कैन से, एंड 1914 प्रिसाइजली व्हेन वर्ल्ड वॉर 1 स्टार्टेड. वहाँ से लेकर तो हम आएंगे 2008 पे, जब हमारे प्यारे मुंबई शहर पर आतंकवादियों द्वारा टेरर अटैक किया गया था. सो वी आर कवरिंग एवरी बाइट, एवरी आस्पेक्ट ऑफ नॉट जस्ट द वॉर्स दैट रिप्रेजेंटेड द इंडियन मेनलैंड, बट ऑल्सो द ग्लोबल वॉर्स वेयर वी रिप्रेजेंटेड then British India, then after our independence and independent India, and then dealing with the insurgencies and the inner territories, and finally fighting it off for our own people. तो हम लोग chapter 1 पे बढ़ते हैं. It's one of my most favorites. दो भाई Wright brothers, they invent airplane, and after some years of it, when World War I starts, tanks and aircrafts, air bombers, fighter pilots, इसका निजाद होता है. दो इंडियन फाइटर पायलट्स इसमें सेलेक्ट हुए थे. वन वॉज हरदीप सिंह मलिक and another was Laddie Roy. Indralal, Laddie was his nickname. And these were meticulous and of the best fighter pilots that the British regiments of that time, I think Royal Fighter Corps, RFC, they had
Yes,
them, and
yes.
they did their valor, they provided their efforts for that. And at the same time, Laddie साहब ने वीर गति को प्राप्त हुए, and Hardeep Singh साहब went on to live a very legendary
Yes,
life.
yes.
So sir, let's tell our audiences a little bit brief about this chapter.
Yeah. So, I mean, one of the things that I would start with is at that time in the First World War, and there were 5 pilots, not 2,
Yeah,
जिनके
correct.
बारे में
There were 5
कहानी
pilots.
है, और वैसे 5 पायलट्स थे.
हाँ,
और उसमें से सिर्फ 2 लोग ही बच के वापस आए थे. एक हरदीप मलिक और दूसरे एरोल शुभ्रसेन. So whose story is another story that is waiting to be told.
all right.
So which is not there in this book. But I have dealt with the 2 stories that feature in this book, Laddie Roy and Hardit Malik. I must also talk about the fact that, in those days, in the First World War, these fighter pilots were known as a 20-minute club.
Yeah.
वो इसलिए क्योंकि इनकी जो एवरेज लाइफ एक्सपेक्टेंसी, एंड दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग, average life expectancy was not more than 20 minutes of a fighter pilot. कि 20 मिनट से ज़्यादा वो उड़ने की होप्स नहीं रखते थे, क्योंकि उस वक्त इस तरीके से, I mean, they were early days of the plane, right?
Correct.
The interesting part is that the Wright brothers, like you rightly said, had invented the plane. The humankind is so wicked that they figured that this is one
Equipment or a
they
tool.
could use, fly in the air and drop bombs on people. Well, that is how it happened. But the fact is that we, India, had 5 fighter pilots in that war, 2 of whom attained great glory, recognition, and all of them were glorious. 2 of them attained recognition. Let me talk about Laddie Roy first.
Yes, sir.
So Indralal Laddie Roy had, was a daredevil pilot, and he was conferred the title of an ace. An ace वो होता है जो 6 या 7 kills या victories पाता है. वो 6 victories पाना बहुत ही नामुमकिन के बराबर है, और वो 6 victories पाना किसी को, वो एक बहुत बहुत बड़ी बात. बहुत कम एस हुए थे फर्स्ट.
और अगर आप उनकी उम्र बताएंगे तो लोग और चौंक जाएंगे.
और उम्र थी उनकी 18-19. 18 से 19 he had just turned.
Yeah.
And in that period of 18 to 19 he had done so much that I don't think you have, many people would take 10 live, 10 births, and I don't think that would be possible. But this is something remarkable that he had done. तो उस वक्त लैडी रॉय की उम्र 18-19 वर्ष की थी. एंड लैडी रॉय, जो मैं बता रहा था कि एस की उपाधि पाना या टाइटल पाना, फॉर दैट यू नीडेड टू हैव 6 to 7 kills or victories.
Correct.
I mean, you have read the story.
Yeah.
And this was not 6-7, he had crossed that. He had recorded 10 victories.
Yeah.
10 victories. So much so that, and that Laddie ki kahani, I mean, I'll let the readers, read through the entire thing. But Laddie Roy had become a marked man because he was bringing down the German planes, he was just swatting them, but he was fighting and he was swatting. I mean, he was winning those dog fights, as they call it.
Dogfights.
Yes. And the Germans were really targeting him. This was something that Laddie was bracing up for. So when they finally got Laddie, and Laddie crashed on the German side of the boundary, and there were 4 German planes that were after Laddie, and Laddie had shot down 2 of them, but he finally
all by himself. And I think one of the major players in the
Yes.
German fighter, the list was, I think, Red Baron. That's what the British used to call him.
Yes.
Red Baron.
Yes, Red Baron had many victories. He was a legend of First World War.
Yeah.
Hardik Malik had also fought him. We don't know whether he was in that squadron that took on Laddie, but he had fought with Hardik
Yeah.
Malik. He had fought with Laddie. When Laddie crashed, he had crashed on the German side.
Correct.
The German Imperial Air Force, the German Imperial Army had stopped the war, and they had carried out a ceremonial burial of Laddie Roy. When Laddie Roy's mother was asked after the war had ended, so जब जर्मन्स ने ये करी बेरियल तो उन्होंने फ्रेंच प्रीस्ट बुलाया, क्योंकि फ्रांस के वहाँ पे था, तो फ्रेंच प्रीस्ट बुलाया, उन्होंने बेरियल करी. अब वो वॉर ख़त्म होने के बाद में when Laddie Roy's mother was asked as to whether they would exhume the body and take it into India, so you know what she said? Well, my son died doing what he liked best, flying.
In the
let it-
battlefield.
in the battle, where he liked to be in the battlefield. What he liked to do, fly, where? In the battlefield. And that's his final resting place. So be it.
Absolutely.
And what happened thereafter was, ये तो वॉर ख़त्म हो गई, लेकिन उसके बाद में जो लैडी की जो ग्रेव है वो वहीं पर है, अभी इट्स पार्ट ऑफ फ्रांस.
Yeah.
लेकिन उस ग्रेव के ऊपर जो टैबलेट है, जो एपिटाफ है, उसमें लिखा गया है इन फ्रेंच एंड इन बांग्ला,
In Bangla. Yeah.
which is very interesting.
Yes. Would you want me to read that?
Please,
Please pardon my Bengali. I try my best.
no worries, I'll correct you.
Mahabairar Samadhi.
Mahabhirer. It's
Mahabairar Samadhi.
Hmm.
Sambhram Dikhao. Sparsho Corona.
So don't touch, but pay your respects. Is Mahavir. So Mahabir is, the great warrior's samadhi.
The grave of a brave warrior. Show respect. Don't touch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the French, I mean, this is an honor to a soldier that, it was not in any other language.
Yeah.
It was not, it was in French and Bengali, not in English.
Yeah.
And the French recognized the fact that he was a Bengali from India, maybe fighting for the Imperial British Air Force. But he was at the, so they
paid that respect
they
to him.
paid their respect to his roots and from where he came. So that is Laddie Roy. And there's a lot in there. I mean, I've just given you a little brief.
And so just one more thing about Laddie Roy.
Yeah.
When the commanding officer, when he was just enrolling himself
Yes.
in the Fine Corps, and he said, why you coming? You're not
Yes.
supposed to be here. He
Yes.
said, I would like to volunteer. I have
Yes.
volunteered. And once he crashed into the German
Yes.
occupied territory, he was brought into a morgue
Yes.
because people thought he was dead.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden in the midnight, he wakes up and he starts banging the door of the morgue
Yes.
saying, I'm alive. And he was saying basic French because he was
Yes.
in the French,
Yes.
he was around the French people.
Yes.
So yeah, truly a brave warrior.
And he goes back, and then he's grounded because he had crashed and he was
Yeah,
not
he's injured.
तो फिर उनको बोला गया कि आप injured हो गए हैं, अभी आप वापस नहीं चला सकते. But he fought his way back to, and he was quite disappointed when he was not given the.
He was rather offended.
He was very offended, and the way he was going about it. And when I was discovering his story, and I'd read his story earlier, but I was kind of trying to find the finer nuances.
Bilkul.
It was, to me, it seemed like, there was no other way this would end, because the way he was going, he was just tearing up the enemy. If the airplanes, his dogfights would always end in his favor. The Germans had an eye on him. And in the messes, in the army messes and regimental messes in England, Laddie had become a hero. Laddie had become a hero. एकदम मतलब जिसे कहते हैं ना कि एक यंग 19 साल का लड़का
बिल्कुल
किस तरीके से अपने आप को उस वॉर के दौरान उस अपने आप को इस महान कगार पर लेके गया, and how he was actually being celebrated in the messes.
गोरे लोग जो थे वो ये कहते थे, this brown man is acing the invention made by a white man.
Yes.
That's what they used to call
That is what they used to say, that here is this man who's aced the invention and who's been better than any one of us.
Absolutely.
Which was quite remarkable.
Let's talk about Hardik Singh Malik.
Hardik Singh Malik's story is a different story, but again, a glorious story, a remarkable one.
Indeed.
that continued after the war also. But before that, I must say that, when Hardeep Singh Malik की story से ही किताब शुरू होती है,
बिल्कुल.
the first story, and he was again a very outstanding. If you look at Hardeep Singh Malik and Laddie Roy, इन दोनों के पास में, they were not just fighters, they were very good at their studies, and they were in Cambridge and Oxford.
Correct.
And they were and not just good in one sport or one activity. They were good, cricketers. They were good boxers. Laddie Roy was a boxer. Hardeep Malik was a cricket player. They were sports blues, to the extent that Hardeep Malik even played county cricket.
The British Cricket League.
Yes,
Yeah.
the county league. और county league जो था, वो that was in its 25th year in 1914, when the World War I started, because of the assassination of of the Prince
Duke Ferdinand.
Archduke Ferdinand, and
Yeah.
because of which the county league, which was in its 25th year, और उस दौरान रंजीत सिंह जी जो ससेक्स के लिए खेलते थे,
बिल्कुल.
वो किसी वजह से, किसी कारणवश जामनगर में लीगल केस में फंसे हुए थे. तो he hadn't come for the last 2 years. So when Hardeep Singh Malik went in to bat for Sussex wearing a blue turban, they all thought that there's another prince who's come to bat.
Yeah.
Well, he may not have been as good a bat as Ranjit Singh ji, but good enough to play for Sussex in
Yeah.
cricket. But his future lay elsewhere, lay in the skies. And
Flying
that's
what he
where-
loved.
Flying, doing what he loved.
Yeah.
But I must also add that after the war ended, he went back to playing county cricket for Sussex. And if you look up the scores in Wisden, you will see Hardeep Malik's scores. And he played the book starts with him playing against Sir Arthur Conan Doyle,
Yeah.
who's the author
of Sherlock
Holmes,
Yeah.
no less. And Sir Arthur Conan Doyle was a brilliant sportsman. And his only wicket in cricket was one of cricket's legends, Sir W.G. Grace.
Okay.
Yes, which is not there in the book. Is would have
Alright,
digressed,
okay.
but,
But
just,
this is
just a little.
interesting.
Yes.
It's
So-
interesting.
So, only wicket in first class cricket. Not only wicket. He took many
Mhm.
wickets, including
Yeah.
Hardeep Malik's. But only one of the most famous victims was Dr. W.G. Grace, and he was in several things in athletics and cricket and all that. So Hardeep Malik played him. Hardeep Malik was dismissed by him in that match that I write about. We went on to play county cricket. He went on to fly planes, and and there's an interesting story of Hardeep Malik and his adversary, which is there in the book, that he takes on a German adversary, and Hardeep Malik and the German adversary fire at each other. और दोनों की प्लेन्स जो ना क्रैश कर जाती है, वो हरदीप मलिक की प्लेन हरदीप मलिक की जगह towards their own lines, and the German plane in their side, and Hardeep Malik somehow lands the plane on a swamp, and उसके बाद में उन्होंने लिखा भी है कि ऐसे ऐसे हुआ.
उन्होंने इसलिए लैंड किया क्योंकि उन्हें लगा कि जो जमीन है, गीली जमीन, वो प्रेशर को एब्जॉर्ब कर लेगी, तो
जी.
उतना इम्पैक्ट नहीं आएगा और
जी.
उतना शायद डिस्ट्रक्शन ना हो.
जी.
बट एनीवेज पीपल हु सॉ दैट क्रैश
Yeah.
हैपनिंग, दे
Yeah.
थॉट दिस इज अ मिरेकल,
Yes.
ये जादू है, बिकॉज दिस मैन सर्वाइव्ड बिकॉज ही वाज ऑलरेडी शॉट
He was
in the
shot.
thigh.
Yes.
And he was bleeding badly.
Yeah.
उनका पूरा बदन दर्द में था, and still he
Yeah.
was flying that plane,
Yeah.
making sure it lands somehow.
Right.
And then he survived.
Yes.
And the commander, which he thought that might have had crashed
Yes.
or something might have had happened to him, nothing happened to him also.
Yes, his boss thought he had died.
Yeah.
He thought his boss
Boss
had
had
died. But fortuitously, both of them survived. I will not give away what happened later, but I must talk about a bit about what happened between Hardeep Malik and the adversary. वो तो अपने अपने जगह क्रैश होके चले गए. अब वो 60 साल बाद हरदीप मलिक का करियर बड़ा ही उम्दा करियर था. He went on to have a glorious career. He was an ambassador to France and Canada. Diplomat and a cherished one at that. Khushwant Singh, the author, who was his nephew, said once that he was the greatest Sardar of our times. Typical Khushwant Singh. But, he rightly said that.
And to add on to this line, and so
Yeah.
sorry to cut you, sir, but I really wanted to plug
Yeah.
this in. the British Army created one of its kind helmet for Hardeep Singh Malik Saab because उनकी पगड़ी उनके साथ थी, and they gave him a new kind of helmet which could, encompassate that, which could include that, and the fellows around him, they started calling him Hobgoblin.
Yes, the flying hobgoblin.
Yeah.
And Hardeep Malik was told, because उस वक्त अभी उन्होंने देखा कि भाई सरदार आए हैं. I mean, their rule was that you need to be clean shaven. You couldn't have long hair. But Hardeep Malik stood his ground. He said, "This is not something that I'll compromise." And they had to give in, and they created a special helmet for him, which you talked about.
Yeah, custom helmet rather.
Customized helmet, yes. And Hardeep Malik went on to become a diplomat and went on to become an illustrious person of his times. अब वो जब डिप्लोमेट बन करके रिटायर हो गए तो एक दिन एक सरप्राइज मिलती है. वो सरप्राइज आप बुक में देखेंगे, पढ़ेंगे. सो आई थिंक दैट इज अ सरप्राइज दैट revisits him from the First World War.
After 60 years.
After 60 years. और वो एक गिफ्ट जो आपने बीच में बोली है, I won't repeat it.
बिल्कुल सर, हम उसके बारे में बात नहीं करते. अगर आपको जानना है कि वो स्पेशल सरप्राइज क्या था आफ्टर 60 years that he received that brought him back to the memories of World War I while he was flying and having dogfights, go ahead and read this book.
और वो कोई गिफ्ट थी जो किसी ने उसको दी,
बिल्कुल,
किसी ने उनको बाद में दी. तो वो उसके बारे में I must also add that when I had an event around the book, I had invited Hardeep Malik's grand nephew.
Wow.
And he'd come, and he was what gave me a lot of joy was that he said, this is a story I had not known, and I'm so happy to read this. He is an illustrious author and journalist himself, Rahul Singh. So he's his nephew, and he'd come for to speak about the book, and he loved reading the story, which gave me a great joy, because that was a link I found, of someone who I was writing about and who had been here many, many years ago.
And lived so gloriously.
Yes.
And so, the beautiful thing about him was he had Indian written on his fighter pilot.
Yes.
That showed the pride that he carried and where he's coming from, the lance.
Right. Right. But if you look at it, Laddie Roy's tablet, the epitaph on his grave talks about his bravery in Bangla and French. In Bangla, where his roots are. Hardeep Malik, when he flew, he had Indian written on the side. So they were very proud of who they were. They were proud of where they'd come from. Hardeep Malik did not compromise on his pagdi and on his beard.
Yeah.
And the British compromised because Hardeep Malik was an outstanding fighter pilot, and they couldn't have left him because, it's there in the story that, initially they did not take him, and he went to France. And when they heard that he had been admitted, he'd been taken to the French Air Force, they recalled him, and they immediately, and that's how the British were,
Yeah.
They needed a validation from somebody else to believe that they could really have someone there, but or someone there who was not white. But the fact is that, very little is known about fighter pilots. The reason why I talked about this is हमारे बीच जो सैनिक बाहर गए थे या अफसर लड़े थे, उनके बारे में तो कहानियां है, बट जो एयरफोर्स में फाइटर पायलट्स हमारे थे फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर में,
और इतने बेहतरीन
पायलट्स थे, और उनके बारे में ज़्यादा कुछ लिखा नहीं गया है.
मैंने पहली दफ़ा ऐसा कुछ पढ़ा है सर.
हाँ, नहीं, there is I must admit that I'm also grateful to people who have written, like जगमोहन साकरू जी ने लिखा है उनके बारे में, एक उन्होंने किताब लिखी थी, and there's another biography by Charles Parker recently on Hardeep Malik. So they have written.
जी.
Like I said, you cannot have absolutely unpublished works from First World War and Second World War because उनके sources तो है ही नहीं ना, खत्म हो गए. तो कहीं लिखी हुई है. But the fact is they have not been highlighted. They've not been told. And they have not been told together. Certain other things that I write about here, like the cricket part, the various other things, have not been told. So I kind of, there are stories, like I said, why camouflage? There are stories that you may have heard of. There are stories that have been written. But एक story को नए सिरे से बांधना और उसको एक सोल देना, एक जान देना, आगे बढ़ाना और रीटरेट करना, वो ज़रूरी था.
या सर, मैं अंत में ये हमारा चैप्टर 1 ख़त्म होता है, द सुल्तान्स ऑफ द स्काई, हरदीप सिंह मलिक एंड लाडी रॉय, इंद्रलाल लाडी रॉय, और इनके साथ में और 3 फाइटर पायलट्स भी थे. If you want to really know what's happened, in this chapter and how ace fighter pilots representing the Indian mainland contributed in World War I from the British towards the British, तो प्लीज़ गो ahead and read this, enlighten yourself. मैं lastly sir chapter 1 की postscript पढ़ना चाहूँगा because I think this is really
Please go
amazing.
ahead.
About a decade after Laddie's passing, his nephew Subrata Mukherjee, inspired by him, decided to forego medical studies and joined RAF Cranwell to serve in the Indian Air Force, IAF, in 1930. Mukherjee later became the first chief of the air staff
Yes.
of the Indian Air Force in an independent India.
Air Chief Marshal Subrata Mukherjee is known as the father of the Indian Air Force.
Yeah.
And he was inspired by Laddie Roy.
His,
And so are we.
yeah,
today.
so are we. So are we.
Yes.
Cheers to Laddie Roy.
Yes.
All right, sir. दूसरे chapter की तरफ बढ़ते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
I think this is going to be really interesting because, you know, it has been spoken in the mainstream domain, but by the Hollywood ace producers and directors and actors. And a lot of people know about it, but never knew it from an Indian context. Let's talk about Message in a Battle. Gobind Singh, the hero of Cambrai.
बिल्कुल. So ये उस वक्त की बात है जब, you know, and this is again, पहले वाली जो story थी, that was about the planes, the invention of the planes and the association of Indians with that part of invention of planes, fighter planes. ये story जो है, it is also associated with the invention of the tanks. And I'll, you know, talk about bit about how the tanks were invented, which is very, very different from what anyone can guess. I don't think anybody will be able to make a right guess as to why and how the tanks were invented. Why perhaps, but not how.
The story behind the word tanks.
जी.
Yeah.
तो पहले उस पे चलते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
The story behind the word tanks ऐसा हुआ था कि, you know, they were in the First World War, they used to be fighting in the trenches and, you know, they would go ahead. Belgium में there was a बहुत घमासान लड़ाई थी, swamps के ऊपर चली थी. Nobody really progressed because swamps बरसात के टाइम पे people could never progress. The infantry जो पैदल फौज है वो वहाँ पर प्रोग्रेस नहीं कर पाई ज़्यादा.
मिट्टी ढसी हुई होती थी,
ढसी हुई swamps थी.
So
and they were very difficult terrain. Also the fire was very much, you know, they were exposed to the fire. So it was very difficult to progress or make any progress. So both the armies, both sides, the Allied side as well as the German side, nobody could make any progress. तो उस वक्त ब्रिटिश ने सोचा कि हमारे एक नई आविष्कार की ज़रूरत है. प्लेन्स तो हमने कर लिए, तो प्लेन्स तो हवा में है, ऊपर है, आसमान में है, ज़मीन पे भी कुछ होना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल.
सो दे डिसाइडेड टू गेट टुगेदर एंड स्टार्ट टू रिसर्च टू क्रिएट अ व्हीकल. अब वो नॉर्मल व्हीकल तो हो नहीं सकती है. नॉर्मल व्हीकल आप चलाओगे तो स्वैम्प में अटक जाएगा. तो दे सेड, यू नो, वील पुट आयरन चेन्स अराउंड द. So they did some research. There was a hotel, a White Hart Hotel है जो मैंने लिखा है इस इंसिडेंट के बारे में. जो 2 साइंटिस्ट रिसर्चर्स उन्होंने, they just locked themselves in that room, in that hotel for days, and they were just doing the design, the drawings, the research, you know, doing all that they needed to do to create a vehicle or a prototype that could overcome this issue of getting stuck in the battle that was happening
in
to
the
them.
swamps.
In the swamps. तो अब वाइट हार्ट होटल के पीछे एक कंपाउंड था, एक जगह थी. तो वहाँ पर कुछ लोगों ने देखा कि भाई, यू नो, देयर सब कुछ ढका हुआ है. बिकॉज these guys were doing the research and they were also creating prototypes of the tank, of the machines that they had made. They didn't know what is it that they would call.
Or what's supposed to be called, or what's we going to say to it.
Yes. So they kept those machines there and उनको ना तिरपाल से ढक करके रखा हुआ था. Tarpaulin से, as we call it in Hindi, in colloquial, this thing, तिरपाल. So tarpaulin was used to cover those machines and they were beasts for that age. And उनको ढक के रखा हुआ था. अब वो कुछ passers by जनता देखे कि भाई इतने 4-5-6 चीज़ें, पता नहीं what is this massive structure that's been hidden by tarpaulin. And so they asked one of the people in the hotel कि भाई क्या हुआ है. तो they also didn't know. They said, you know, they were told that, you know, अब मैं बता रहा हूँ क्यों हुआ. So they said, you know, अच्छा ये कहता ये they are water tanks. टंकी. So the tanks, they're tanks, the water tank है, टंकी है. And that's how people went away, you know, buying that story that these are tanks. So when they were introduced, they said, so they asked themselves that, you know, okay, so what have you named them? They asked the researchers.
The scientists.
They looked at each other, the scientists. They looked at each other. They said, these are tanks. What tanks? Well, we don't have any other name, but I think, and then they asked the local people, yeah, these are tanks, of course.
Just tanks.
Just tanks. So, for want of any other better name, this name stuck, and that's how we know it. Now, the funny part is, if you look at a water tank, you say, oh, this water tank is built like a tank. And that tank has become the name, the name that signifies anything that is big. Anything, and even the water tank is probably, people would think that water tank is borrowed itself from
storing
that
capacity. Yeah.
Water tank, people would think that that's just borrowed its name, from the tank, but it's the other way. The battle tank has borrowed it from the water tank.
Yeah. और टंकी हम इनकी बात कर रहे हैं जो छोटे शहरों में आप देखेंगे घर की छतों के ऊपर में जो टंकी होती है ना पानी की, we are talking about those tanks.
Syntex tanks.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So that is the little story or anecdote in this larger story of Gobind Singh. Now the thing is, while I was doing the research for Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh's story, and Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh was somewhere else, and he was called to the Battle of Cambrai, and he did what he did, and that story is quite remarkable. But what I'm going to tell you is something very different from Gobind Singh's story. और ये कहानी मैं जब 2019 की बात है, 2019 में जब ये 2019 में एक पिक्चर निकली थी जो मैं देख रहा था, एंड मैंने इंडिपेंडेंटली गोबिंद सिंह की कहानी में लिख रहा था और कुछ और देख रहा था, बट आई डोंट थिंक दिस एवर हैपेंड टू मी दैट आई फाइंड द टू मीट. एंड now what happened was that when I was watching this movie is made by Sam Mendes. कई लोगों ने देखी होगी, बड़ी मशहूर पिक्चर है, and the movie is called 1917.
Yeah.
Why? Because it's a story about 1917. So I said, Gobind Singh's story is also 1917. Then I realized that 1917, the story of Sam Mendes, is in the same area as Gobind Singh. So I dug deeper into Sam Mendes' research, which is available. He'd done a fine job. And Sam Mendes had acquired the story from his father, from his grandfather, grandfather, Corporal Mendes, who had fought in the First World War. और वो कॉर्पोरल मेंडेस ने, सैम मेंडेस जब छोटे थे उनके यहाँ गए थे, तो सैम मेंडेस ने कहानी सुनी थी, बाद में भी उनको बताया गया. तो सैम मेंडेस को his grandfather told him that time in 1917, while fighting in the battlefield, he had heard a remarkable story जो उड़ती हुई आई. Now we are sitting in 2024, we have the advantage of technology and looking at WhatsApp and whatnot. But then imagine in the fog of war, when you're fighting, when you're battling your enemy, that story he had heard in the fog of war, in the battlefield in 1917. और वो story थी एक ऐसे शख्स की, that individual who had gone, that soldier who had gone along with his buddy and conveyed a message which had saved hundreds of lives. Now, Sam Mendes' grandfather, Corporal Mendes, ने ये कहानी तो सुनी थी, और वो जब उन्होंने कहानी सैम मेंडेस को बताई, सैम मेंडेस को बड़ी अच्छी लगी कहानी, and Sam Mendes went on to make a movie called 1917. That movie earned 10 Oscar nominations and 3 Oscars. ताज्जुब की बात यह है कि उन्होंने तो बनाई पिक्चर, लेकिन we had the real story. It is possible that it was Gobind Singh's story. We forgot about it. Why do I say it's possibly Gobind Singh's story? Because it happened around the same area, around the same time in 1917. It's very difficult to believe that there were two different stories happening around the same area in the same period and around the same time. So that is something that I realized, that why we need to tell our stories, because Gobind Singh की कहानी जो है वो गोबिंद सिंह ने 3 बार क्रॉस किया. एंड द स्टोरी, if you've seen 1917 में वो मैसेज देता है, braving the enemy fire which saves the lives of hundreds of soldiers.
Correct.
Gobind Singh does it thrice.
3 times.
3 times. He goes back and forth. And every time either his buddy dies or the horse dies.
Yeah. And in the movie, the buddy dies.
Buddy dies.
Yeah.
In here also, Suvarjot Singh dies the first time.
Oh, both of them were Indians.
Both of them were Indians.
Wow.
Soharjot Singh and Gobind Singh volunteered. Gobind Singh volunteered the second time and the third time.
Just one doubt
Yeah.
here, sir. Is
Yeah.
it possible that since his grandfather never knew who that story actually belonged to, he did not know the name, he did not know the face.
Right.
He just knew that there was a soldier representing the British, and he used to transfer messages from one point to
Yeah.
another
Yeah.
in an ordeal to save the lives of its soldiers.
Yes.
Is it possible that the story of these two brown men were transferred to two white men in the movie?
It is very much possible. And I think I link it to the very fact, and I've always been speaking about why Hollywood has ignored the contributions of Indian soldiers in the First and Second World War. That's precisely one of the couple of objectives.
But I'd
why
like to
I wrote
add one
this
thing
book.
here, sir. In the
Yeah.
movie 1917, there's a Punjabi soldier.
Yes.
And I think he's a Sikh, a proper Sardar.
Yeah.
And he has also a very, impactful part in the movie where he is talking to the main guy, the guy who survives, and, shows him the way rather after
Right.
his buddy dies.
Yes, yes.
But
that's a
there
very
was no Gobind Singh's mention in the movie.
But that's an insignificant, sort of part of the soldier who's sitting
Yeah.
in a truck, I think.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct.
So but ये बराबर होता आ रहा है कि Hollywood में अभी मैं when I was growing up, I saw so many Hollywood movies of the war, of First World War, Second World War. I did not know myself that at that point of time that such sacrifices, such participation, so many Indian soldiers had participated and attained glory in the First and Second World Wars, but they were all ignored. So I'm not very surprised that Gobind Singh didn't figure. Or at the same time, I must also grant concession to Sam Mendes that when he'd heard the story from his grandfather would have heard it in the fog of war. Where jab story travel karti hai,
Word of
it can-
mouth.
Yes, through word of mouth. It is possible that that story would have had been lost in translation or had different meanings because every if you remember those days everything was attributed to the white man, so it was very much possible that it was assumed that yes, दो लोगों की कहानी है, किन दो लोगों की कहानी है we don't know, but it has to be somebody amongst them. So that probably one of the assumptions which has been the case with all Hollywood movies.
So if you'd like to tell, what were the 3 messages that he, made sure that he forwarded to the front line?
So I've just be brief. The messages were that were to be conveyed to the brigade headquarters, which is a higher formation, that ये battalion यहाँ अटकी हुई है, and that is they needed reinforcements, and वो वापस से brigade ने उसको बताया कि यहाँ पे आने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. So they were basically operations related messages which saved the lives of the soldiers in the battalion who had actually conquered a particular area and were stuck, and they were told by the brigade that don't go forward because there are other German formations ahead. Now that message he had taken from the battalion, from his unit where he was fighting, to the headquarters, the brigade headquarters.
जी.
और वो दोबारा ब्रिगेड हेडक्वार्टर से मैसेज वापस यहाँ लेके आए, और तीसरी बार भी वॉलंटियर किया कि वापस इन मैसेज भेजना था ब्रिगेड हेडक्वार्टर को, तो ये वॉलंटियर्ड अगेन, ही वेंट, एंड देन ही वॉलंटियर्ड द फोर्थ टाइम.
He volunteered the fourth time.
And he was turned down. He said, नहीं, अब कहीं नहीं जा रहे आप. Yes. So
Wow.
that was how, because he was so confident that the Germans wouldn't get him. That confidence, that kind of
But I'm pretty
jazba.
much sure, sir, that, while he was doing all these rounds, one from here to there,
Yeah.
and, to and fro, he must have faced a lot of enemy fire.
Yes.
He must
yes,
have,
yes.
have been very careful, or had to go through ways and paths that we can't even imagine.
Yes. So the story talks about how he evaded those bullets. And, when he had traversed the same path, so the Germans were aware when he was to go the second time and the third time, the Germans were very much aware. The fact that he was absolutely denying the Germans a clear shot because he was canny, he was clever, and also he was keeping a calm head. And he escaped, though his buddy or his horse was shot every time that he crossed that path. And he was traversing the same path, and the Germans were really bringing down heavy fire on Gobind Singh, but Gobind Singh escaped each and every time.
Basically, he knew his game. He knew the deal.
Well, I think he was also destined to live and destined to do what he did. But the fact that jazba, that courage, that confidence, and the calm-headedness, जो बोलते हैं कि जोश के साथ में होश रखना, वो गोविंद सिंह ने कर दिखाया.
The will was there.
The will was there and the heart was there.
Yeah. So I think now we need to have our own version of 1917.
बिल्कुल. I
Yeah.
think the time has come that we talk about our heroes and talk about our heroes in every platform in
Yeah.
whichever way we can.
And Gobind Singh's, Laddie Roy, Hardeep Singh Malik, these are just names. These are just few names that people know. But sir, as you have written, there are 1.5 million Indian soldiers who represented the British in the war. और इसमें से हमने कितनों को खोया, हमें इनके नाम नहीं पता. So I believe that if we celebrate these few individuals that we know about and such amazing stories of bravado and share legends, I think we'll be celebrating them all. We'll be paying tributes to what they have done for rather us, the ultimate sacrifice.
Yes.
Going in a
Yes.
foreign land and fighting a war that never belonged to them.
Yes. So I must add here that, they were in Belgium and France. अभी जैसे पंजाब से या महाराष्ट्र से या कहीं और से राजस्थान से गोविंद सिंह गए थे. तो there were lots of people from different parts of India who had gone to Belgium and France fighting in lands that they were not familiar with.
Yeah.
Fighting against an enemy, Germans, who they had no enmity with, and fighting for Britain, a country which was not their own.
Obviously, they had to settle with the food. They had to settle with the climate conditions. They
Yes.
had to settle with the language of the locals.
Yes, and they came out attaining glory, though they were fighting a war which was not their own against enemies who were not their enemies. So I think that at the end of both the wars, in a larger sense, the Indian soldier actually was instrumental in bringing the current world order as we know it and
Yeah.
establishing peace. And that's why if you look at the cover of the book, it's about 3 Indian Victoria Crosses. A Victoria Cross was the highest award.
Yeah.
And this is a picture in front of the Buckingham Palace on the 24th of October 1945.
Do we have Gobind Singh Saab in this?
Nahi. Gobind
Because
Singh
even
nahi.
Gobind Singh Saab was awarded Victoria
Yes,
Cross.
but there were many Victoria Crosses that Indians had won.
All right.
And Gobind Singh was one of them. Gobind Singh was, incidentally, he was awarded the Victoria Cross in 1917, जो 1917 की लड़ाई. ये 1945 की बात है.
Okay. World War II के बाद.
World War II के बाद. I think 1940s, somewhere in 1940s he passed away. और ये फोटोग्राफ जो है बुक के कवर में, ये बकिंगम पैलेस के सामने है 24 अक्टूबर जब लड़ाई ख़त्म हो गई थी. And why I chose this is also because if you look at this is 3 Indian soldiers who had won Victoria Crosses and they're surrounded by a cheering crowd of English people in front of the Buckingham Palace that,
Yeah.
almost conferring an ode that you were responsible for saving us or
They
saving
were
our
grateful for
country.
their service.
Yes, grateful for the
towards
service
their
too.
nation.
Yes.
Sir, I'd just like to, give an end to
Yeah.
a chapter 2, an amazing chapter 2 to Gobind Singh Saab by reading the postscript. During the war, 1.5 million Indian soldiers journeyed from remote villages in India to the battlefields, surpassing the combined armies of Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. They left behind a proud legacy of courage and commitment. Several Indian cavalry regiments fought in the Battle of Cambrai, and each year they observe Cambrai Day on 30th November and 1st December. Lance Dafadar Gobind Singh Ji, hero of Cambrai, was among the remarkable soldiers who demonstrated extraordinary bravery during World War I.
Yes.
All right, perfect. Let's move to the third chapter. This is interesting. This is really interesting. 3 lives in a war.
Yeah.
The miraculous escapes of Chanan Singh Dhillon. So please.
So Charan Singh Dhillon की स्टोरी जो है कर्नल ढिल्लन,
Yeah.
बाद में he retired as Colonel Charan Singh Dhillon. So इनकी कहानी बहुत ही एकदम very different from the other stories, very very unique. The reason is that अब ये कहानी कैसे बनी. अब चरण सिंह ढिल्लन साहब की जो कहानी है वो ऐसे बनी कि मैंने मैं किसी से बात कर रहा था, उन्होंने बताया कि ए वाइस मार्शल अर्जुन सुब्रमण्यम हैं, ऑथर हैं. तो ही टोल्ड मी दैट you must speak with the son of Charan Singh Dhillon, and there is a beautiful story in there. So I met with his son who then told me that Charan Singh Dhillon had written notes in Punjabi during the Second World War. Now, what had happened with Charan Singh Dhillon was that he had fought the war. He was imprisoned,
Prisoner of war.
a few days before he was to sail back to India to join the academy to become an officer. And he was fighting in North Africa against Rommel's troops, and he was captured by the Germans, handed over to the Italians. और उसके बाद में जो उनकी कहानी रही है उन्होंने ये कहानी पूरी वॉर जो है, he had seen that entire war from behind the prison walls, and he was a prisoner of war right through. But it's an amazing story, and he had made notes in Punjabi every day of those 6 years, 5 years that he served, and he went through the entire experience. So he had made these notes in Punjabi. We used these notes, we translated these notes into Hindi and English. Mr. Gurbinder Singh and his family was very, very helpful in doing that. And that enabled me to, once the notes were translated, I reconstructed those notes.
From Punjabi?
No. After they were translated into English and Hindi, the story was reconstructed from those notes. Notes were like, I went there, I did this, and it's some notes were very detailed, but he put those notes in a diary, and very, very meticulous man, and he put those notes in a diary. And then I sat down for hours with Gurbinder, figuring out how, and then I wrote the story. It was a very unique experience because
Unke bete, basically.
Unke bete. It's a story that's never been published. Like I said, Camouflage mein kuch stories hai, kahin haath hi nahi lagaya ki inhone, kisi ne. So this is one of the stories. We used those notes in the story, and then I wrote the story based on the notes, and those notes were one line, few lines, and all of it. I had to really put those things together. But the remarkable story of Chanan Singh Dhillon needed to be told. Now, why Several Lives in a War? Because every time he was facing death, something would happen and he would be interrupted. And because again, he was destined to live, and the courage, the bravery, the resilience to go through all of it.
Sheer patience,
resilience. Now, again, I'm talking about Hollywood. No, we watched Tom Hanks' Castaway. I think here we have a real hero, where his ship was torpedoed. The ship of prisoners was torpedoed by his own people. The British, ship had torpedoed the prisoners. की जो जहाज थी, जो ships carrying prisoners from Africa, which were prisoners, Indian prisoners, American prisoners, etc. तो वो ship को torpedo किया गया था. वो ship टूट के गिर गया, and the ship listed, it sank under, and Gobind Singh was floating in the ocean, and how he survived is something that one would leave it to the reader to decipher. But it's an amazing story. And then there is this, he also dug a tunnel and escaped from a prison,
high security prison.
He was, and then what happened? So bada drama hai in his story, a lot of ups and downs, conflicts, and it's a scintillating tale of of Chanan Singh Dhillon. And then at the end, when he's in Germany, Germans have started to give in, and the American planes, the British planes fly over Berlin, and Berlin mein jab wo allies advance
powers को चीरती हुई आगे बढ़ती हैं.
when they were advancing and the Axis powers were losing, and he was in a prison camp with the Germans, and there came a time when the allies were using their planes to bomb the prison camp, or us waqt, that time Chanan Singh Dhillon was, he and the prison ke superintendents the, and the Germans, who were actually the enemies until the previous day, had suddenly become their friends, because they would tell each other, "Arey wahan chup jao, hide in that bunker, or hide in that trench, ki wahan pe gola nahi girega, wahan pe mat khade raho." So they had suddenly become friends with each other, and Gobind Singh was now facing bombs of airplanes of his own Fauj, of his own military. So then he asked himself the question as to whose war was he fighting anyway, because at the end he hadn't come so far in the war to be killed by his own forces,
by his own friends, by his own colleagues,
by his own forces. So
comrades.
Because and that also tells us the complex nature of war. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong.
And also tells us the vulnerability of being a human.
Yes.
And also tells us that कितनी अजीब चीज़ है war. कि मतलब किसी की एक code of conduct से या किसी की law से आप किसी इंसान को मार देते हो जिसको आप जानते भी नहीं हो. But then दूसरे ही पल में, when you know it's all a mess and it's all a crisis and somehow everyone has to survive, you just lend an extending hand, a helping hand.
Yeah. And they were enemies till the previous day. And imagine the German wardens of the prison were actually their enemies, but they had become friends because they were when death approaches, that's what happens. They make, there are friends out of enemies, and so I think that is what happened
And
between the
I
two
think,
of
sir, from one of his camps, one of the Nazi supervisor, उन्होंने उनका gate pass sign किया था.
them. There is a picture also, there's a
Yeah.
photograph in the book, which again, grateful to the family for sharing. But some of these very, very unique instances. And Chanan Singh Dhillon की personality बहुत ही तगड़ी थी. वो
बहुत
prison में,
खूबसूरत दिखते हैं, sir.
yes, very
बहुत खूबसूरत
handsome,
दिखते
very
हैं.
handsome,
Yeah.
very regal, very stately. And he had imposed himself there in the prison barracks as a leader of those people who had been in the prison. And he had represented them on various counts.
Yeah.
एक बार तो उनको तो गोली मार देने की अवस्था आ गई.
बात हो गई थी.
And then he kind of somehow, I think he trusted destiny and his own self.
Yeah, and I think सर prisoner of war camp एक ऐसी जगह जहाँ पर आप सोचने की क्षमता खो देते हो, आपको खाना नहीं मिलता, and you have to perform extreme hard labor.
जी.
At that time, he was writing himself. He was expressing his inner
Yes.
thoughts so as to feel the so as to feel in touch with him.
Yes.
जिसको
yes.
आज की भाषा में लोग जर्नल लिखना बोलते हैं.
बिल्कुल.
To
And he
show
was
the
doing it.
gratitude to
Yeah.
where you are, what you are doing, and
Yeah.
you're just expressing it to the universe.
Yeah.
And as rightly the chapter says, 3 lives in a war.
Yes.
And I think he was destined to live that.
Under pressure, if you see, there are pictures in that story of him playing table tennis. There are pictures of him, there is a picture of him in the drill ground,
Kushti.
kushti, wrestling.
Yeah.
So, when you're in extreme pressure, or when you're in that kind of situation, how he kept himself alive to the situation and conscious of the environment around him, conscious of the place, and kept his mind, alive and kicking, because otherwise it's very, like you said, in a prison, it can die an untimely death, the
Yeah,
mind.
Yeah.
But he had a large heart, and that's how he kept himself going. And that's very much evident in the notes that he
Yeah.
made every day of his life
Yeah.
in the prison.
Because sir, it was very easy to give up for people back then, facing those kinds of hardships and those kinds of,
Ji.
that torture on them. But the sheer grit,
Yeah.
the love,
Yes.
the belief, the patience at the same time, the perseverance.
जी.
I think वही होता है एक जिंदा दिल इंसान.
बिल्कुल.
जिंदा दिली जिसको कहते हैं.
And these activities also tell us how he was keeping himself going in the prison despite the hardships.
And the valor of an Indian soldier in a
Yes.
foreign land.
Yes.
Absolutely. I think if you want to know more, and trust me, there's so much more in this chapter, and you do not want to miss this, please go ahead and read this chapter right now. Go ahead, buy the book. Please go ahead, do that. So let's move into part 2,
Ji.
defending the borders.
बिल्कुल.
Now we are entering and we are venturing into part 2 of this book. Part 1 is over. The 3 chapters are over. Now let's read about part 2. I'll read a little short brief about it. In the wake of India's independence in 1947, a series of conflicts unfolded in the neighboring regions, and soldiers engaged in wars to protect the homeland or redefine borders. Stories of loss, redemption, resilience, and triumph inked human relationships as soldiers faced adversaries closer home. Bittersweet stories arrived from the borders about notions of nationhood in a troubled neighborhood. Part 4, the boy who would become Stack, the legend of Chivang Rinchen. Sir, I'm a fan of him. Please tell our audiences what he did.
Yes. So Chivang Rinchen की कहानी जो है, again, it's an amazing story. We are, we speak about and we write about, we talk about, our consciousness is around Kashmir, but very little is known of Ladakh. So when Pakistani forces were actually, and we've read, all of us have read about how Kabailiyan aa gaye, Kashmir mein aa gaye, and they were, they had come through Uri, the place of my posting,
Yeah.
when I was commissioned in Kashmir, but that was far, much, much later. And Uri mein, Uri ke wahan se the Pakistani forces had come, invaders and the rebels, and accompanied by the Pakistani army.
Yeah.
And they had come and Baramulla mein aa gaye. महाराजा हरी सिंह ने एक्सेशन साइन किया, इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ एक्सेशन, उसके बाद में भारतीय फौज गई वहाँ पर, वो सबको हमको मालूम है.
बिल्कुल.
लेकिन एक कहानी है जो हमको आम तौर पे वो कही नहीं जाती, उतना उसके बारे में चर्चा की नहीं जाती
उतनी
है.
चर्चित
That is
नहीं है.
चर्चित नहीं है.
हाँ.
It's not known, and again it's a story that is, I would say it's translucent, mostly not very well known to the people outside. And that's the story of Chivang Rinchen. The way it happened was that, Colonel Priti Singh, who was the army commander there, was a he was commanding a small detachment of troops in Leh. Leh is the capital of Ladakh.
लद्दाख.
और पाकिस्तानी रेडर्स जो है वो स्कार्दू से वेस्ट से, इफ यू लुक एट द मैप ऑफ दैट रीजन, वो वहाँ से आ रहे थे. एंड दे हैड ऑल्सो, यू नो, देयर वाज अ टुकड़ी जो फौज थी गिलगिट स्काउट्स करके, दे हैड रिबेल्ड बिकॉज उसमें लॉट ऑफ पीपल फ्रॉम गिलगिट एंड large Muslim population of that side, and they decided to be with Pakistan. And not only that, they had rebelled, and because of Gilgit scouts rebelling, Pakistan had got that entire region of Skardu, Gilgit, etc. And they were actually the invaders who were coming in from the west.
Yeah.
अब कर्नल प्रीति सिंह के पास में कोई उपाय नहीं था. There was no airfield in Leh, so they got a Ladakhi engineer from overseas. उसको लेके आए कि भाई आप यहाँ पे एयरफील्ड बनाइए. वो कहानी काफ़ी लंबी है उसके अंदर, एंड बट आई विल स्टिक टू शिवांग. सो देयर वर नो एयरफील्ड. सो द लॉन्ग एंड शॉर्ट ऑफ इट इज़ दैट बिकॉज देयर वाज नो एयरफील्ड, द फौज विच वाज इन कश्मीर वुड टेक many days to reach the Ladakh valley. So you know, they would take the road. They needed to have the airfield made soon enough so that the reinforcements of Fauj could come by air much more quickly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would take days and days to progress through road. Now, अब वो उसके लिए होल्ड करने के लिए कि वहाँ पे जब तक भारतीय फौज आप पहुँचे, कोई तो चाहिए वहाँ होल्ड करने के लिए. तो उस वक्त कर्नल पृथ्वी सिंह ने लेह के स्क्वायर में, जो मार्केट स्क्वायर है, वहाँ पर उन्होंने ऐलान किया कि भाई मुझे वॉलंटियर्स चाहिए. आई नीड वॉलंटियर्स बिफोर till the time the Indian Army arrives, so that you and your land, your villages can be protected. Anyone? So he said it once, there was no response. He said it again, there was no response again. Now Colonel Prithvi Singh was standing there in the Leh Square waiting for somebody to respond to his clarion call of protecting the land of Ladakh. One hand went up at the back.
Okay.
That hand was of a 17-year-old boy, Shivang Ranjan.
The man, the legend.
Yes. और शिवांग रंजन की कहानी वहाँ से स्टार्ट होती है. शिवांग रंजन 17 साल के तो थे, लेकिन उनकी जो काबिलियत थी वो शायद कई 100 years की होगी. Because शिवांग रंजन सिर्फ अकेले नहीं थे. शिवांग रंजन went around in the villages and convinced people. वो डरे हुए थे because the Pakistani armies को लड़ना, वो करना, वो एक सामान्य बात नहीं थी.
नहीं सर, मतलब कबाइले
थे, but they were also supported by the army. But the Pakistani army, the newly formed Pakistani army, was supporting them.
And rather advancing also at the same time.
Yes, and they had weaponized, given them weapons, they had supported them. So yeah, they were raiders and also supported by the Pakistani army. And they were coming in. And here was Shivang Ranjan, all of 17, convincing villagers that nahi, aap aiye, and we must protect our land.
Our people,
our honor. And that's how he initially got a team of about 27, 28 people. He got them convinced. Imagine a 17-year-old boy. I keep saying this. I think I went to some school to speak, and I said, this is a story that you must hear. This is a story that you must know of a 17-year-old boy. And the story is just the start of it. Because Shivang Ranjan की कहानी उसके बाद में ऐसी दिलचस्प कहानी है. उन्होंने he went ahead, and I won't go into the finer details. It's the story that tells itself. The story speaks for itself. And Shivang Ranjan went ahead, defended Ladakh. And जब वो जो कबाइलियों की फौज, जो रेडर्स की फौज थी, पाकिस्तानी फौज थी, जो वापस गए, उनमें से जो उनके कमांडर थे, उन्होंने एक किताब लिखी, बल्टिस्तान पे एक नज़र. उन्होंने उस किताब में लिखा है कि अगर शिवांग रंजन नहीं होते तो लद्दाख हमारा होता
उस वक्त.
And imagine what a 17-year-old could do to really hold off Pakistani forces till the Indian Army arrived. And that is the massive story of Shivang Ranjan. And it doesn't end there. The story is, that's why. So Shivang Ranjan ki story aage, and I'll let the readers read. But I must also say this, that India की जो लद्दाख साइड में आखिरी 4 villages जो पाकिस्तान के पास में थी, वो 1971 में शिवांग रंजन ने लड़ाई करके वो वापस इंडिया की ओर कर लिया.
बिल्कुल.
और उस वक्त जो लड़ाई शिवांग रिंचन ने करी, आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट 1971 नाउ.
Yeah.
So we have progressed almost at
23 years.
23 years. It's quarter of a century. So शिवांग रिंचन की जो कहानी है वो चलती है 25 साल. This is the span. जो शिवांग रिंचन ने 1971 में वो कर दिखाया जो एक अधूरा प्रॉमिस था, उन्होंने खुद को दिया था 1948 में. वो क्या प्रॉमिस थी वो किताब में है. लेकिन अब ये जान लीजिए कि वो जो लास्ट 4 गांव है वो इंडिया के पास में है. और 1971 में शिवांग रिंचन एंड हिज फौज फॉट अ बैटल एट द हाईएस्ट पॉइंट इन हिस्ट्री. जो जिस पीक पे वो लड़े थे,
From the sea level, you mean?
from sea level,
Yeah.
and you may read out the height that he fought, and and how he went there. What were the measures he adopted? The paibos, and what are paibos, and what are the helmets? What are things that he used locally to really trounce the Pakistanis at that height? जो उन्होंने सोचा था कि इस हाइट पे तो कोई आ ही नहीं सकता, लेकिन ये आ गए.
बिल्कुल आ गए. और मेरे लिए सर तो जो उन्होंने किया वो तो है ही लेजेंडरी, लेकिन द पावर, द कन्विक्शन, द कन्विंसिंग पावर ऑफ अ 17-year-old जिसने
Yeah.
अपने साथ में 25 से 30 लोगों की टीम बना दी.
Right.
एंड आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन दिस, बट सर ने शुरुआत की थी 1948 से और हम बढ़ गए 1971. सो जस्ट रिमेंबर दिस वन थिंग कि ये साहब ने हर उस मेजर वॉर में पार्टिसिपेट किया है और हर उस मेजर वॉर की इनकी कहानियां हैं जो हिंदुस्तान में लड़ी है, भले वो 48 हो, 62 हो, 65 हो या 71 हो.
And Shivang Rinchan is one soldier who fought every war, like you said, from 48 to 71, lost none.
Lost none.
And Shivang Rinchan won 2 Mahavir Chakras and 1
Yes.
Sena Medal. Now, ये मैं बता दूं कि एक महावीर चक्र जीतना is a massive ask, and it's a glorious ask. And so just you can just imagine him winning 2 Mahavir Chakras. It's called Mahavir Chakra Bar, and that to me is absolutely outstanding. It's something that is peerless, that is unprecedented, and something that really one salutes Shivang Rinchan for
Absolutely.
his life and what he did. And in every war that he fought, he left his indelible mark as a soldier, as a leader, and also someone who fought the war, who fought his battles, not by way of what was taught in the book, but what he understood as the way to win a battle. And it teaches us in life that, you improvise. अगर हम सारे वही करें जो किताब में लिखा हुआ है, तो आज कोई इन्वेंशन नहीं होता, कोई डिस्कवरी नहीं होती.
He went beyond the book.
He went beyond the book. I don't think he really kept any book.
Yeah.
I think he wrote his own.
He wrote his own book. He was a student of the raw war and he made his own learnings. और मुझे लगता है सर जिस मोमेंट पे वो दूसरी दफ़ा जब साहब ने पुकारा कि कौन वॉलंटियर करेगा, जब वो 17 साल के लड़के ने अपना हाथ उठाया,
जी.
आई थिंक उसी मोमेंट पे he sealed his destiny. He wrote his life
Yeah.
that is going to be contributed and dedicated to this nation and to the Indian Army.
बिल्कुल.
और सर 71 के बाद उनके रिटायरमेंट के बाद में he was appointed as the scout commander for the Leh Ladakh scouts, जो आगे बच्चे वहाँ पर आर्मी की तरफ बढ़ने वाले हैं.
जी. He's an inspiration and will always be.